It sounds like you really would be willing to work across the aisle here. As
Sure.
you probably know, Manchin was the last statewide Democrat. Justice
Hmm.
was Democrat. He changed parties in 2017. Senator
Oh,
Manchin was a
yes.
Democrat. He switched to independent earlier this year. Does West Virginia have an appetite for Democrats anymore?
Well, it's a fair question. There's no doubt the party has shifted its leaning from 20 years ago. We were a pretty reliably Democratic state. We certainly have gone to the right. I think a lot of that is directly connected to former President Trump. He certainly has an appeal here in West Virginia. It's not fair to say that same appeal applies to Republican candidates down the ballot. I think you see much less allegiance to a lot of Republican candidates. The challenge is making sure that we Democrats, aren't afraid to say what we stand for and don't let them define us as something that we're not. I think we have let them in our state. We've let Republicans define Democrats as somehow the party of radical. And there's nothing radical about my record in Wheeling as mayor. We had, during my 8 years as mayor, more investment in the city of Wheeling than in the prior 50 years combined. And nothing that we did was radical, and nothing that I would do in the Senate is radical. We are the party that brought people things like Medicare and Social Security, and actually gave unions the right to collectively bargain. We're the party that's always believed in progress, and we have to actually regain that mantle, and it's on us. Like, they're not going to do it for us. We have to regain that mantle, and I think half the battle is just showing up and talking to people. I've knocked on thousands and thousands of doors, starting back in June of this summer. We've been to all 55 counties of West Virginia. We don't discriminate party when we knock on your door. All we care is that if you're a registered voter, we're knocking on your door. And I've shown a willingness to talk to anybody, people who agree with me, and most importantly, people who don't. Those are sometimes the best conversations, when you get out of your own bubble and talk to people who may see the world a little bit differently from you.
Mayor, as we sit here today, we're only 3 weeks out from Election Day, so I can only
Yeah,
imagine how busy you are. So I'm curious
yeah,
what's next, because polls
yeah.
indicate that you are coming up from behind a little bit. So what
Oh,
is
sure.
your path? What's your pathway to victory here?
We are pretty much every day over the next 3 weeks. I'm going to be somewhere. Some of some small town hall events, some more door knocking. We'll be on TV a little bit. We're getting our advertising going off a lot now, but we'll be everywhere we can be, just making the final pitch here, making the case for people asking people just to set party aside for a second and look at character and work commitment. We actually did an open letter to West Virginia Republicans. It's going to be going in. It actually went out last week and will be outgoing in a lot more newspapers here this weekend as well. Uh, just making the case why, if you're a Republican voter who believes in things like personal responsibility, sending Jim Justice as your representative to the U.S. Senate would be a step back. If you're playing the long game, Jim Justice doesn't embody a lot of the values that just Ronald Reagan did a few generations before. He seems like just someone who seeking this position really just to add it to his, uh, add it to his biography, but without actually having the work commitment to go there. We need a senator who's going to show up each and every day, and it's on me to make that case here in the closing stretch of this campaign that I'm the guy.
Mayor Glenn Elliott, best of luck to you. Thank you so much for joining me. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you, Brittany. Really enjoyed it.